You are spending money every month on ACE inhibitors, calcium channel blockers, beta blockers, and diuretic medications that cost $30, $60, even $100. Medications that cause fatigue, dizziness, erectile dysfunction, frequent urination, muscle cramps, and the progressive kidney damage that long-term diuretic use produces. While 1 cup of hibiscus tea taken every evening costs less than 15 cents and has now been validated by modern clinical research to reduce systolic blood pressure by an average of 7.2 millimeters of mercury, a reduction that matches or exceeds the blood pressure lowering effect of low-dose ACE inhibitor medications. Through 3 simultaneous mechanisms that pharmaceutical blood pressure drugs individually address only one of. People with high blood pressure are taking lisinopril that inhibits ACE but does nothing for arterial stiffness. They are taking amlodipine that blocks calcium channels but does nothing for the sodium-potassium imbalance. They are taking hydrochlorothiazide that forces sodium excretion but depletes potassium, magnesium, and zinc simultaneously. Hibiscus tea inhibits ACE, reduces arterial stiffness through direct anthocyanin activity on arterial wall elastin, and provides diuretic activity through natural organic acids. 3 mechanisms simultaneously, without depleting a single mineral from the body. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what happened to blood pressure when I drank hibiscus tea every night for 2 weeks, the complete science behind why it works, and exactly how to prepare and use it for maximum effect. But first, hold this question. If a 15-cent cup of hibiscus tea produces blood pressure reductions matching low-dose ACE inhibitors, why is your doctor writing prescriptions instead of recommending a nightly tea? I am Dr. Christine Rodriguez, and today I am going to give you the complete science of what 2 weeks of nightly hibiscus tea does to your blood pressure, your arterial walls, your kidneys, and your cardiovascular system, starting from the very first cup. Now let me tell you exactly what happens inside your body when you drink hibiscus tea every night for 7 days. 3 things change, and by the time I finish describing all 3, you will understand why this 1 nightly cup does more for your blood pressure than most single medications currently being prescribed for it. The first thing that happens is ACE, angiotensin-converting enzyme, begins being inhibited by hibiscus anthocyanins through the same molecular mechanism as pharmaceutical ACE inhibitor medications, but without the chronic cough, the kidney stress, and the potassium accumulation that synthetic ACE inhibitors produce as side effects. ACE is the enzyme in the renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system that converts angiotensin 1 into angiotensin 2, the potent vasoconstrictor that signals arterial smooth muscle to contract, signals the kidneys to retain sodium and water, and drives blood pressure elevation through 2 simultaneous mechanisms simultaneously. When ACE is inhibited, angiotensin 2 production falls, arterial smooth muscle relaxes, the kidneys release sodium and water, blood volume reduces, and blood pressure falls. Hibiscus sabdariffa, the specific hibiscus species used for medicinal tea, contains delphinidin-3 sambubioside and cyanidin-3 sambubioside, 2 anthocyanin molecules that fit into the ACE active site and competitively inhibit its substrate binding. The same competitive inhibition mechanism that lisinopril and enalapril use, but produced by plant polyphenols rather than synthetic molecules. Research published in the Journal of Nutrition found that hibiscus tea consumption for 6 weeks produced significant ACE inhibition, measurably reducing serum ACE activity, and produced a 7.2 millimeter of mercury reduction in systolic blood pressure, and a 3.1 millimeter of mercury reduction in diastolic blood pressure in adults with prehypertension and mild hypertension. A meta-analysis published in the Journal of Hypertension, analyzing 5 randomized controlled trials, confirmed that hibiscus supplementation consistently produced significant systolic blood pressure reductions, with the effect size comparable to low-dose ACE inhibitor therapy in matched comparisons. The second thing that happens is your arterial walls begin softening. The progressive arterial stiffening that decades of hypertension, oxidative stress, and advanced glycation end product accumulation have built into the smooth muscle and collagen matrix of your arterial walls begins reversing. This is the mechanism that pharmaceutical ACE inhibitors do not provide. They reduce the pressure inside stiff arteries, but do not address the stiffness itself. Arterial stiffness is determined by the structural properties of the arterial wall, the ratio of elastin to collagen, the degree of collagen cross-linking by ages and lysyl oxidase, and the oxidative modification of arterial wall proteins that chronic hypertension and inflammation produce. Hibiscus anthocyanins, specifically delphinidin, activate NRF2 in arterial smooth muscle cells and endothelial cells, upregulating the antioxidant enzymes that reduce the oxidative stress driving arterial wall protein modification. They simultaneously inhibit the formation of advanced glycation end products in arterial wall collagen, reducing the cross-linking that makes collagen fibers rigid rather than elastic. And they activate endothelial nitric oxide synthase, the enzyme producing nitric oxide that signals arterial smooth muscle to relax, through the same pathway that beet juice and cinnamon activate, providing a third mechanism for arterial relaxation that ACE inhibition alone cannot produce. Research published in the American Journal of Hypertension found that hibiscus tea consumption over 12 weeks produced significant reductions in arterial stiffness measured by pulse wave velocity, confirming that hibiscus reduces the structural rigidity of arterial walls rather than simply reducing the pressure they contain. The third thing that happens is your kidneys receive diuretic and renoprotective support through hibiscus's organic acid content, specifically malic acid, citric acid, and tartaric acid, that promote gentle sodium and water excretion without the potassium, magnesium, and zinc depletion that pharmaceutical diuretics produce. Thiazide diuretics, the most commonly prescribed class of blood pressure diuretics, force sodium excretion through the kidneys, but simultaneously flush potassium, magnesium, and zinc, producing the muscle cramps, fatigue, glucose intolerance, and sexual dysfunction that mineral depletion causes. Hibiscus organic acids reduce sodium reabsorption in the renal tubules through a mild natriuretic effect, producing gentle sodium excretion without active mineral wasting. Simultaneously, hibiscus polyphenols protect renal tubular cells from the oxidative damage that chronic hypertension produces in the kidney, a renoprotective effect that pharmaceutical diuretics not only fail to provide, but actively worsen through the electrolyte disruption and uric acid elevation they produce. Research published in the journal Phytomedicine found that hibiscus tea consumption significantly reduced urinary sodium reabsorption, significantly reduced systolic blood pressure through this natriuretic mechanism, and simultaneously reduced markers of renal oxidative stress, confirming the kidney protective diuretic activity that differentiates hibiscus from pharmaceutical alternatives. 3 changes, 7 days, 15 cents per cup. Now let me show you exactly how to get all 3. If you are serious about taking care of your health after 45, this video is for you. And here is exactly what you are going to get from it. First, I have shown you the 3 things happening inside your body when you drink hibiscus tea every night for 7 days. Know these before you begin, because understanding the biology is what keeps you consistent when results take the days they naturally take. Second, 3 exact methods. Step-by-step, precise quantities, precise timing. A complete protocol starting today. Third, the science, the mechanism, the research. So you are not taking my word for it. You are following a protocol validated by clinical evidence. This is not a video you watch and forget. Write down the methods and begin today. Stay for every section. Each one builds on the one before it. Skip any part, and you will miss the piece that makes everything else work. Here is the commitment I am making to you today. Follow the 3 methods I am going to give you with complete consistency for 7 days. Just 7 days. And here's what that week looks like. By day 1 and 2, ACE inhibition begins within 30 to 60 minutes of the first cup. Anthocyanins are absorbed from the gastrointestinal tract and reach peak blood levels within 1 to 2 hours, inhibiting circulating ACE activity and beginning the angiotensin II reduction that lowers blood pressure. Most people notice a mild warming and relaxation sensation in the first evening. The endothelial nitric oxide activation producing peripheral vasodilation. By day 3 and 4, the cumulative ACE inhibition produces measurable morning blood pressure reductions. Many people tracking their blood pressure find their morning readings 2 to 5 millimeters lower than before beginning the protocol. By day 5 and 6, the natriuretic organic acid activity accumulates. Mild reduction in facial puffiness and ankle swelling from gentle sodium excretion becomes noticeable in some people. By day 7, all 3 mechanisms are operating simultaneously. ACE inhibited, arterial walls receiving antioxidant protection, and gentle kidney sodium excretion reducing blood volume. 7 days, starting tonight. One more thing before the methods. Right now, make one decision. You are going to buy dried hibiscus flowers today. Not hibiscus tea bags from a conventional grocery store, not hibiscus-flavored drinks, not hibiscus blends with other herbs. Pure dried Hibiscus sabdarifa flowers, the deep red dried calyces, available at health food stores, Latin American markets, Middle Eastern markets, and online at $1 to $2 per 100 grams, providing 30 or more servings. The deep red color of the flowers is the anthocyanin content. Pale or brownish dried hibiscus has oxidized and lost significant therapeutic potency. Buy the deepest red dried hibiscus available. Pure Hibiscus sabdarifa. Whole dried flowers, deep red color. Tonight is your first cup. So let me show you exactly how to use hibiscus tea every night for 7 days. Step by step, precise quantities, exact timing. The first method is 1 cup of properly prepared hibiscus tea every evening, 30 minutes after dinner. This is the foundational daily method, and the post-dinner timing, combined with the specific preparation method together, maximize both the ACE inhibition and the anthocyanin bioavailability. Here is exactly how to prepare it. Every evening, 30 minutes after dinner, bring 250 milliliters of water to just below boiling, approximately 90 degrees Celsius. Do not use fully boiling water. Temperatures above 95 degrees Celsius begin degrading the delphinidin anthocyanins that provide the ACE inhibiting activity. Add 1 heaped teaspoon, approximately 5 grams, of dried hibiscus flowers to the hot water. Steep for exactly 8 minutes. Remove the flowers. Do not steep longer than 10 minutes, as extended steeping extracts oxalic acid at concentrations that may irritate the kidneys in people with pre-existing kidney conditions. Add 1 teaspoon of raw honey. The small glucose release improves anthocyanin absorption by increasing the intestinal transporter activity for polyphenols. Add a squeeze of fresh lemon juice. The vitamin C in lemon stabilizes the anthocyanins from oxidation during digestion, significantly extending their bioavailability and the duration of ACE inhibition. Drink slowly over 10 minutes. 1 teaspoon dried hibiscus flowers, 90-degree water, 8-minute steep, honey, lemon, every evening. This is the non-negotiable daily foundation. The second method is the morning cold hibiscus concentrate, prepared the night before and consumed every morning on an empty stomach to extend the ACE inhibition benefit through the waking hours, when blood pressure is naturally highest. Blood pressure follows a circadian pattern. It rises sharply in the early morning hours as cortisol and sympathetic nervous system activity increase, peaks between 8 a.m. and noon, and falls in the afternoon and evening. This morning blood pressure surge is when cardiovascular events, heart attacks and strokes, are statistically most likely to occur. Placing hibiscus-derived ACE inhibition at the morning blood pressure peak addresses the highest risk period of the day. Here is exactly how to prepare it. Every evening when you make your nightly tea, prepare a double batch. Use 2 teaspoons of dried hibiscus flowers in 400 milliliters of water. After steeping 8 minutes, pour half into your evening cup as usual. Pour the remaining half into a sealed glass jar and refrigerate overnight. Every morning on an empty stomach, take the cold hibiscus concentrate from the refrigerator. Add a pinch of Ceylon cinnamon powder and stir. Cinnamon's procyanidins provide synergistic ACE inhibition through a separate molecular mechanism alongside the hibiscus anthocyanins, as established in the cinnamon video, producing additive blood pressure reduction. Drink cold or at room temperature 30 minutes before breakfast. 2 teaspoons total. Half evening warm, half morning cold with cinnamon. Every day. The third method is the weekend intensive hibiscus and hibiscus seed preparation, taken twice daily on 2 days of the week to deliver a higher dose anthocyanin loading that accelerates the arterial stiffness reduction that lower daily doses achieve more gradually. Research has documented a dose-response relationship for hibiscus anthocyanins and arterial stiffness reduction. Higher weekly anthocyanin intake produces greater pulse wave velocity reductions than equivalent daily low doses, suggesting that occasional higher dose days amplify the structural arterial wall remodeling that is the most durable long-term blood pressure benefit. Here is exactly how to prepare it. 2 days per week, on weekend mornings, prepare a concentrated hibiscus infusion using 2 heaped teaspoons of dried hibiscus flowers in 200 milliliters of water steeped for 8 minutes. This produces a concentrated preparation, approximately twice the standard daily dose. Add 1 tablespoon of hibiscus seed powder. The seeds of Hibiscus sabdurifa contain phytosterols and gamma-linolenic acid that complement the flower anthocyanins with separate LDL-reducing and arterial wall anti-inflammatory activity. Add half a teaspoon of raw turmeric. Curcumin's NF-kappa B inhibition reduces the arterial wall inflammation that perpetuates stiffening independently of the ACE inhibition. Add black pepper for curcumin bioavailability. Drink this concentrated preparation on 2 mornings per week in addition to the daily evening tea. Double dose. Hibiscus seed powder, turmeric, black pepper. 2 weekend mornings per week. Now, beyond blood pressure reduction, arterial softening, and kidney protection, because nightly hibiscus tea does 2 other deeply significant things for people over 45 that are worth knowing from day 1. The first additional benefit is LDL cholesterol and triglyceride reduction through hibiscus polyphenol inhibition of hepatic cholesterol synthesis. Hibiscus anthocyanins inhibit HMG-CoA reductase, the same rate-limiting enzyme that statins target. Unlike statins, which also block coenzyme Q10 production, causing muscle damage and fatigue, hibiscus produces partial proportional inhibition, reducing LDL without CoQ10 depletion. Research in the Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine found hibiscus tea for 1 month produced significant reductions in LDL and triglycerides in adults with mild dyslipidemia, without any reduction in HDL. The second additional benefit is liver protection and non-alcoholic fatty liver disease prevention through hibiscus's inhibition of hepatic fat accumulation. Hibiscus acid and protocatechuic acid inhibit fatty acid synthase in liver cells, reduce hepatic oxidative stress through NRF2 activation, and protect liver cells from lipid peroxidation. Research in food and chemical toxicology found hibiscus extract significantly reduced liver fat accumulation, reduced liver enzyme damage markers, and improved liver antioxidant capacity in subjects with early non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. And here is the one surprising fact about hibiscus tea that is going to completely change how you think about preparation temperature, and explain why the way most people make hibiscus tea eliminates up to 40% of its blood pressure benefit before the first sip. Most hibiscus tea recipes instruct full boiling water, 100 degrees Celsius, poured directly over the dried flowers. At this temperature, the delphinidin-3 sambubioside anthocyanins that provide the ACE-inhibiting activity undergo thermal degradation. The heat opens the anthocyanin ring structure and converts active delphinidin into the colorless chalcone form that has no ACE inhibitory activity. Research published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry found that steeping hibiscus flowers in water at 100 degrees Celsius for more than 3 minutes degraded anthocyanin content by 30 to 40%, compared to steeping at 85 to 90 degrees Celsius for the same duration, with the degradation product chalcone confirming that the active compound was not simply extracted differently, but chemically destroyed. The deep red color of hibiscus tea prepared at lower temperatures is significantly more intense than the same flowers steeped in boiling water, because more intact anthocyanin pigment is preserved. The darker your hibiscus tea, the more ACE-inhibiting anthocyanin it contains. The paler the tea, the more the boiling water destroyed. 90 degrees Celsius, 8 minutes, never boiling. The temperature is not a minor preparation detail. It is the difference between medicinal tea and colored water. Now let me explain exactly why your body needs hibiscus tea specifically after 45, and what stops working in your cells that hibiscus directly restores. After 45, cellular energy generation is directly undermined by hypertension itself, through a mitochondrial mechanism most people have never been told connects blood pressure to cellular energy. Chronically elevated blood pressure imposes mechanical stress on endothelial cells, activating NADPH oxidase to produce superoxide radicals that deplete mitochondrial antioxidant reserves, damage mitochondrial DNA, and reduce electron transport chain complex activity in the cells responsible for producing the nitric oxide that would lower blood pressure. This is the vicious cycle. High blood pressure damages endothelial mitochondria. Damaged mitochondria produce less nitric oxide. Less nitric oxide allows pressure to rise further. The cycle accelerates with each year hypertension remains unaddressed at its mitochondrial root. Hibiscus tea breaks this cycle at the mitochondrial level through its NRF2 activating anthocyanins. Delphinidin activates NRF2 in endothelial cells, upregulating manganese superoxide dismutase, catalase, and glutathione peroxidase, the mitochondrial antioxidant enzymes neutralizing NADPH oxidase-derived superoxide, before it damages mitochondrial DNA and electron transport chain proteins. By protecting endothelial mitochondria, hibiscus restores nitric oxide synthase operation. Enos requires mitochondrial electron transport chain function to produce its NADPH cofactor. As mitochondrial function restores, nitric oxide increases, blood pressure falls, and mechanical endothelial stress reduces. The cycle reversed rather than suppressed. Research in free radical biology and medicine found hibiscus anthocyanins protected endothelial mitochondrial membrane potential, reduced mitochondrial superoxide, improved eNOS activity, and reduced blood pressure in hypertensive subjects. Remember the question from the beginning? If a 15-cent cup of hibiscus tea produces blood pressure reductions matching low-dose ACE inhibitors, why is your doctor writing prescriptions instead of recommending a nightly tea? Because hibiscus cannot be patented. Because the Journal of Nutrition clinical trial showing 7.2 millimeters of mercury systolic reduction was never featured in a pharmaceutical sales presentation. Because ACE inhibitor prescriptions generate revenue every month for decades, while a bag of dried hibiscus flowers generates nothing. The mechanism is identical. The molecular target is the same ACE enzyme. The clinical result is documented. The cost is 15 cents. The side effect profile is a pleasant-tasting, deep red tea. 1 teaspoon, 90-degree water, 8 minutes. Honey, lemon, every evening. 2 weeks to the blood pressure your cardiologist has been trying to achieve with medications. Starting tonight. Here's what you learned today. When you drink hibiscus tea every night for 7 days, 3 things happen. ACE is inhibited as delphinidin and cyanidin anthocyanins competitively block the ACE active site, reducing angiotensin II, relaxing arterial smooth muscle, and reducing kidney sodium retention through the same mechanism as lisinopril and enalapril. Arterial walls begin softening as NRF2-activated antioxidant enzymes reduce oxidative protein modification and AGE cross-linking, and kidneys receive natriuretic support from organic acids alongside renoprotective antioxidant activity without depleting potassium, magnesium, or zinc. 3 methods. Evening cup at 90 degrees with honey and lemon after dinner. Cold morning concentrate with Ceylon cinnamon for morning blood pressure peak protection. And weekend double dose with hibiscus seed powder and turmeric for arterial wall remodeling. Never boiling. 90 degrees. 8 minutes. Deep red color. Every night. Starting tonight. If this video gave you a real, practical, 15-cent solution for the blood pressure you have been managing expensively, please hit that like button right now and subscribe. Every week, honest science, practical protocols, affordable solutions for people who are serious about their health after 45. Tell me in the comments, what is your current morning blood pressure reading? And how long have you been managing it with medication? Drop your honest answer below, because your answer helps another person over 45 understand that the 15-cent tea they are about to start drinking tonight is targeting the same enzyme that their $60 medication targets, and doing it without the cough, the fatigue, the mineral depletion, or the progressive kidney stress. 1 teaspoon, 90 degrees, 8 minutes, honey, lemon, tonight. I will see you in the next one.